Hey everybody, it's Jason and Andy with Infinity Flux Comics in lovely Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we are here to talk about the new comics that are releasing today and tomorrow. We work in a comic shop, so we're lucky enough to get these early. We usually take a break and we leaf through some and we read some, and this is a show where we tell you guys our ideas on some of the new books. Um, let's address the elephant in the room. Where's Megan?
That's rude to call her an elephant.
Her presence.
Talk
Her
about
presence.
the elephant not in the room.
Yeah, so Megan is off doing other things. We had somebody who called in today, so she's having to run registers and help customers and do all that. So, however, it's a pretty small show today, honestly. Yeah. There's some good new books out, but it's not a ton of them. So I see a few of our regulars have tuned in. We're just going to launch right into it, I guess. So Andy, I guess you read Punchline.
Yeah, so I actually got to read Punchline. I mean, it feels like 2 weeks ago now, and you got to keep spoilers to yourself and everything, because DC lets us read some of them early. But I was really excited about this one.
It's her origin, right?
Yes. So we've gotten a bit of her origin before in 100, Batman 100,
right,
had the little short story where she kind of proved to the Joker that she was worthy of being his apprentice, basically. In this, I think it goes back a little bit further, and you kind of see what the series of events led her to being such a kind of messed up person.
And that's sort of what I wanted to know.
Yeah, and kind of her first interactions with the Joker, what kind of made her so, really obsessed, kind of very much like Harley, very obsessed with the idea of Joker and everything. But it's not just people, it kind of ties up what happened at the end of Joker War, too, towards the end. So, I mean, everyone, if you're reading Batman, you're going to want to read this. It's the breakout character of the year. It's kind of the new... I mean, I feel like this is a lasting character in the Batman mythos going forward, and this is kind of I feel like, even though we've got her in Batman and everything, kind of the kickoff of her own solo lines. Like when Harley got her own solo series, we know there's rumors about a Punchline series next year. I feel like you'll see a lot of the same names attached to it. So kind of almost like an issue 0 maybe to what's coming.
Right, yeah. I highly suspect they're going to do a full Punchline series.
Right.
But from a narrative perspective, I haven't read it yet. We don't have time to read them all. So Andy read some, I read some. When you're doing an origin, you can either do, it's a flashback, or you're back in time, or it could be somebody in the present telling a story of the past. I'm suspecting that this is someone in the present, like talking about the past.
I'm trying to remember who narrates it now, or if it has a narrator, but I feel like it's kind of, you get the past and then towards the end it kind of jumps forward to after Joker War and what the reaction of her in that situation was, and how we see those free Punchline shirts and everything. So
well, let's see some of the other covers.
Yeah, so of course we've got it's hard to call it a blank cover, but it's a sketch cover.
Yeah, and if you're a local, you have a pull box with us, and you want any of these, just let us know in the comments. Whether you're watching the video live or you watch it later, just let us know, and we'll get that for you while supplies last.
Yes, very limited supply on some of these. Then we have the Frank Cho Punchline variant, another really awesome one.
Yet another sort of callback to Harley, because Cho is doing all the Harley variants, and now her series is done. They're like, switch on over.
This one, after looking at it, it was a little hard to figure out, because in the background there's like Vikings on horses and all this stuff. I don't really know how that relates to her, but it's a very nice cover.
Probably metaphorical.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Although you don't know what to expect from her. And,
yes.
Yeah.
And then this is a really exciting one, and Jason will help me explain it too.
Yes.
But this is very limited supply. This is the
Cal Win variant.
Yeah, they
store
exclusive to a couple of stores. Was this one also limited to?
Yes, only 3 stores can get this one.
Wow.
And although we weren't one of those stores, we did a little trade, and we have a limited supply of these. They are $15 for locals who want to pick it up, $20 if you were one of our non-locals who has a pull box with us, and that's shipped. So $15 if you're local, $20 if not. The Kale Win variant, very limited supplies. You will not see this anywhere else in Chattanooga or probably anywhere else around, really.
Yeah, yeah, and I think this one is just, I mean, it's one of the best exclusives we've seen. She looks really awesome on that one.
And a few days from now, we're going to have the Peach Momokos. We traded for those as well.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. They couldn't get this to us in time, but we have the tracking info. They're on the way. So, and we're seeing all the claims, and we're seeing everything everyone's saying. With only two of us here, we can't really respond easily, but we'll get everyone what they want.
So what did you have a chance to possibly read?
Okay, so I checked out Taskmaster. They finally gave him his own mini-series, which I think is cool. He's such a neat character. His power set is just sort of incredible. Hard to wrap your head around. Sort of like Forge, where it's like, how far can this power go?
This?
Yeah, so this is out tomorrow. This is the #1, and that is the regular cover. In it, it really surprised me because the cover looks very severe. It starts out with some humor. He's out like golfing and talking with prospective clients who want to hire him because he just has this power to mimic anyone.
Yeah.
There's an appearance by what's his name from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nick Fury?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nick, there's an
the
appearance,
big guy?
There's an appearance from Nick Fury, who is hiring Taskmaster for a very interesting assignment of mimicry. And it's not necessarily what you think. It's not hero powers. It's more, let's see what else you can do. So that's probably about as much as I can say without going through it more than that. There are not any variants to it either. Mm-hmm. It's just the A cover. So if you want to read more about Taskmaster, check out his first series.
I believe it's a mini-series.
Yeah, I think it's a 5-parter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that's true.
Yeah. Excited to read that. I always like Taskmaster and, like, what is the extent of his power? Can he watch Tiger Woods golf? I can do it now. Like,
well, you might be able to find that out.
You might find out. So, the next thing I got a chance to read was, and I'm going to have to look at it to say the entire title, Dark Knight's Death Metal Infinite Hour Extreme.
I'm still disappointed they didn't put 4 X's in Extreme. 3, that's very extreme. A 4th, I mean, that's...
Rarely do we go
so
to a 4th.
So uncalled for.
So this is cool because this is almost a Dark Knight's Death Metal prequel. So in issue 1, we see Lobo on the moon.
Right.
Digging for something.
Yeah.
Well, in this, we see, leading up to that, why he's doing that, who hired him to do that, because of course Lobo doesn't do anything unless there's money involved. And this is... And he's being chased by someone, another Batman, from the dark multiverse. Death metal thing. But it's a very funny book, too. I mean, you can't... It's hard to have a super serious Lobo book without him, with his swear words that he's come up with. That fragging and whatever. He does call himself the main man at least 20 times in this.
Yep.
So... very heavy on the 90s Lobo feel of him just being over the top. And then, like I said, you do see how this is important to the overall story, that he's looking for something that could turn the tables of this war that they're having against the Batman Who Laughs / Darkest Night, Perpetua, all of that. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. To the point of funny as in Lobo's funny, which is you kind of have to take him at he got stuck within the early 90s image boom version of humor and over the top violence and all of that. He's just kind of stuck right there, and he hasn't matured much since then.
Yeah, Lobo was created by the naughty mind of a 13-year-old boy. And they tried to reimagine him in New 52, and that was
I think
catastrophically
old Lobo
terrible.
ended up like murdering young, handsome Lobo.
Yeah, I mean, some people, you either love Lobo or you hate him, but it's like he's like a bad joke. You either like bad jokes or you don't like bad jokes. And I grew up reading Lobo. To me, he is the main man, but only to himself.
And the other thing that is funny is the last few pages are, like they said, the solicitation, which I thought would be the entire thing, but it's actually a small part of it, is him recounting some classic stories from his perspective. So there's like Wonder Woman's origin, but she kind of looks like Lobo. She's got like his face paint. And they're like, you should go save all the humans. And she's like, I hate the humans. Let's save all the dolphins. Because, of course, Lobo loves dolphins.
He does, yeah.
So there's a lot of really funny little backup story type things in here as well.
That's cool. So let's talk indie. From Aftershock Comics, which they really have been putting out sort of like a new book a week, but they're strong. They're really some strong
really
titles.
Come back.
This is Miskatonic #1. I actually reviewed this on our Comics from the Future show 3 weeks ago because I got to read it early. So this book, yes, very Cthulhu. There's no mistaking that. See the Cthulhu beast and the O of Miskatonic. So basically it starts out in the time where J. Edgar Hoover is just taking over the FBI. And his first point of business is he fires everyone. He's just like, you guys suck. I took over to clean this place up. And this one very smart female detective, who we have on the cover here, goes to him and says, well, hold on. I'm in charge of some cases that nobody knows about. Basically some weird occult stuff. And she shows it to him. She so wows him. He's like, okay, yeah, you stay in charge of that. Do whatever you need to do.
That's job security. Just know about some weird cult stuff.
Yeah, in fact, she gets to do even more than she used to be able to. So now she's moving in on sort of this cult-like activity, and you follow her and her partner as they're checking stuff out. Yes, there are Cthulhu monsters, but it's not the huge ones yet.
Yeah.
It's the little guys. You forget about all the creepy little
fishmen and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Frog legs raining and bad signs. The first half is really set up. In fact, there's a character in it who doesn't even believe in this stuff. But, by the end of the second half, I think everyone believes in it. So if you like the Cthulhu stuff, I think this one's for you. We have a 1 in 15 variant for $18. We actually have 2 of these available. So if anybody wants these, they are $18 for the 1 in 15 of Miskatonic #1.
I feel like also since Aftershock has made their deal, their movie deals or whatever, their media deals, they're coming out with things that definitely could be adapted.
Could translate.
They're very like human based. There is some little twistiness to it, but it's less like crazy outer space and everything. It's more, hey, what would the budget of this be if we made a TV show or a movie?
I've only read the first issue because that's all there is to read. But if I had to say one or the other, it felt more TV. It felt more like we're really setting up characters that we want to have a lot of time to mine into. Whereas with a movie, a lot of times you start with an archetype because you only have so long to show you, oh, it isn't quite that archetype.
So next, I didn't get a chance to completely read it, but I got a chance to flip through it. I've been reading the series as it goes on anyways. But Darth Vader, issue number 7. So this is a big one because this is the first full appearance of the Sith assassin.
Yeah.
That we saw just
the last panel.
The last panel of the last issue is into some quite a bit. Him and Vader do have some back and forth, and if you go up against Vader, it's not gonna be an easy target. So we get a lot of that.
So, okay, his first cameo blew up, like people were looking for that, sold out everywhere, selling for far over cover price. Well, now everybody is coming out of the woodwork for this. I hope he lasts, but I have to say, I've read a lot of Vader. And when you go hunt Vader, you die. So
how many continuing characters have been in Vader? We have Vader and the Emperor. Other than that, everyone else is pretty much done.
Afra got away.
Afra got away.
She
got her own series out of that. That was her door out.
That's what you get if you can escape from Vader.
So the other thing I think, being the super Star Wars fan I am, that's important in this is there is a character that's also introduced that was from a deleted scene that didn't even like get shot. But it was in the original script of Rise of Skywalker,
Huh.
and it is a really interesting character back on Mustafar, where Anakin got turned into Vader, and it's kind of a character that's been, as in Star Wars, a character that's been around a really long time. It's another one of those that is pretty wise.
Have they been in a comic before? Do you know?
I mean, I've read every single Star Wars comic that Marvel has put out since then, and from the start of Marvel.
That's big news because I haven't seen word of that yet, but I totally trust your.
Yeah, I mean, it's super spoiler because they are on the cover of the next issue.
Okay.
But it's a character, if you read the novelization of Rise of Skywalker, that chapter is included where Kylo Ren actually goes to Vader's castle, or what's left of it, and this character is there, and he speaks with it. Well, in this, we see Vader speaking with the character. So I believe, I've read just about everything. This is the first time we're seeing that.
So when the show's over, I'm looking that up. Right?
Yeah,
I'm really interested. I read all the Vader stuff. It's just
I don't think he was in the adaptation, the Marvel adaptation of Rise of Skywalker. If that was even, did they end up doing that, or did they cancel that? I don't remember at this point. I would have to definitely look into it. If anything, that would be the only place.
Oh.
But yeah, I just think it's really cool. Even for being a nerdy Star Wars fan, that's a bigger deal than the Sith assassin, because I'm like, oh, Vader's going to chop his head off eventually. But this character already is got his roots in Star Wars, so definitely want to check out that.
I guess with Vader, you think, well, there's a chance maybe he'll instead of killing the assassin, he'll just beat him down and go, you know what, I'll hire you. You can work for me. But Vader doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, no, he
doesn't. He has been, but you get the sense all the time he doesn't need anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so Power Rangers #1 is also out as of tomorrow. They've relaunched the series into 2 series with 2 teams. One is Mighty Morphin, the other is Power Rangers. I have not read this. We're just going to go through a few other things coming out this week. It has some variants that I'd like to show you. Here is this variant. And then we also have this cool entire team variant. And then we have a 1 in 10 Dan Mora variant for $10. We only have one of these, so if you're a Power Rangers fan, you want to be the one, let us know. And we also have a 1 per store. It's the same as that other variant, but this one is the Virgin one. It's a wraparound cover as well.
It's the Yoon variant.
Yes, that's right. It's Yoon. So we just have one of those for 10.
And my rapid fire books, of course, are Amazing Spider-Man Last Remains, number 52, and also the same week, which is kind of surprising, Amazing Spider-Man 52.LR. So these kind of go hand in hand. You read 52 first, of course, and then you read the LR, still dealing with the kind of fallout of the Sin Eater story and Kindred and all of that cool stuff. So you've got your main Spider-Man book that follows, of course, Peter Parker, which has a very shocking final panel.
I was going to say, you showed me the final panel. Is that in the 52 LR?
That is in the regular 52. And then LR actually, I believe, takes place a little bit after it, and follows other characters because, I mean, according to Nick Spencer, the writer, this story is so big it couldn't be contained in one book. So this one actually focuses more on Mary Jane and where she is, and she's having a discussion with I believe, Norman Osborn. And if you know what's been going on with this, you know that's a pretty important conversation being had about what's going on. So that's pretty cool. I've really enjoyed the story so far. Also, we've got some variants for this. We have the Todd Knock, and I think they call this the portrait variant. He's doing a bunch of these for different books. but just real all up and close in Spider-Man's grill.
I mean, if you need a last-minute Halloween costume,
I mean, you
just
could
cut the edges off. Yeah, look at that. You're
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
done.
Wow.
Just don't look at me from the side.
Who needs Megan when we got Spider-Man co-hosting?
And then we have the Viragi, the Native American variant cover
That's
month
really
or
cool.
whatever. Yeah.
I will say, it looks like Spider-Man got electrocuted.
This should be a little electro right up in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. So, yeah. And then finally, just wanted to mention that we did get 2 of these. These are the 1 in 10 of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. This is issue 3, I believe. Just incredibly our most pulled independent series. A lot of people really after the variant covers for this. So we got 2 of those, and they're only $12.
I've got 2 other quick ones to do. So Dynamite, that's how I think it's said. Issue number 2 comes out tomorrow, and we got some cool ratio variants at good prices. This is the 1 in 45 Perio Virgin variant for just $10. You haven't got enough Halloween. I'm about to give you some more. This is the 1 in 10 Peach Momoko sketch variant for just $8.
And what's neat about that one is there's another version where she's a zombie. That one she looks like she's doing all right.
Yeah, she's doing fine. But someone who's not doing fine.
Gosh,
This is the 1 in 10 Soidum variant.
it's like she got her head replaced with a gorilla, and then that gorilla got turned into a zombie.
There's so much going on to take in if you really want to.
And that's
I
an
mean, the
homage
spiders
to
all over it.
that Spider-Man issue.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The McFarlane.
Man, that face, though, is just real horrifying.
And lastly, I'd just like to mention Strange Academy number 5 drops tomorrow. That's been a really fun, really good book. A lot of people have been jumping on it. So a lot of new characters. So just wanted to mention that is also releasing tomorrow. And that is our show.
It's a short one.
Yeah, it's a we've had a lot of big weeks since Marvel and DC got revving up again. Still some good ones. It'll be easy on the pocket. It gives people a chance to try a book they normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
Like Miskatonic, I think that's a great one if you haven't read an independent series in a while or looking for something new, way you can jump into a brand new series.
Yep. So whether you're watching this live or on Facebook or later when we repost on YouTube, we'd like to thank you. We hope you enjoy these little videos where we tell you about the books, but we try not to ruin them. You know, some people they like the spoilers. Maybe someday we'll do a video like that, but we really like to just kind of tell you enough so you can get the full pleasure of all the surprises when you pick the books up and read them.
If you come in, we'll be more than happy to spoil everything for you.
Yes, that's the time to do it.
Whether you want it or not, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, so thank you all very much. And if you are not local and you're looking for a comic store, we ship all over the country. Just contact us by any means. In fact, we have a little screen we'll pop up in a minute to show you order details. But this is Jason and Andy from Infinity Flux Comics signing off.